Welcome back to my channel. Today is a 3-week pregnancy update. So today I'm actually 4 weeks and 1 day pregnant. It is so early in my pregnancy, but I am going to enjoy every minute of it. And I am super thankful to be pregnant, and I plan to give you guys weekly updates of my pregnancy. A lot happened in week 3. So I definitely just want to share a few things that happened. So for week 3, your baby is smaller than a poppy seed, I believe. So that is teeny tiny, like super little, like probably only a microscope could see it, because at week 3 your baby is a cluster of cells, and I believe that's the week your cluster of cells implants into your uterus and you get your positive pregnancy test and your body starts building HCG hormones, right? That's what it's called, HCG. Yeah, I found out I was pregnant when I was 3 weeks and 2 days. So what's today? Wednesday. So today is exactly 1 week that I've known that I've been pregnant. Last month was October, and I was ovulating around October 29th. I was supposed to ovulate on October 29th. So we did not have sex the day that I was supposedly ovulating. I remember we had sex, I think, 3 days before my ovulation date. We weren't trying on, like, we weren't like down to the day trying to have sex so I can get pregnant, but we weren't preventing it either. My husband and I decided whatever just happens, happens. I honestly didn't expect it to happen on the first and only try. So yeah, we had sex 3 days before I ovulated, and then we just didn't anymore. And then I swear I felt like I was quickly getting symptoms. I'm not even lying. I don't know if it was all in my head, but I want to say a week after I ovulated, there was 2 days within that week that I was extremely tired, just tired. And that was it. I thought that was weird. And then my breast started really like getting sensitive. Let's move to my 3-week pregnancy update and like the symptoms that I have. For week 3, my boobs really started like feeling full. And when I would look in the mirror as I got dressed, this might be TMI, guys, but my nipple got a little bit darker, which was unusual. And I can see like veins through my boobs, which was not normal. Like the only time I saw that was when I was pregnant with my daughter Gianna, and like when I was like pumping and stuff when I was breastfeeding. That's the only time I saw that happen. So yeah, my boobs have been feeling full, and they've been very veiny, and my nipple got a little darker for week 3. But not only that, like I actually got scared, because if you read online, it could be 50-50, this stuff you read, honestly. But I was getting extremely, like really bad lower back pain. I've never experienced lower back pain ever before in my life. The only time I experienced that was when I was pregnant with my daughter, and I was in like my 2nd or 3rd trimester. That's the only time that I got lower back pain, and I would only get it is when I stood standing for a long time. So hello, I'm only in week 3 and I'm getting lower back pain. It was actually scaring me. I had lower back pain for like 3 or 4 days, like the whole week of week 3 I had lower back pain. So I was Googling it, and I read some stuff that could be a sign of early miscarriage if it was accompanied with blood, but thank God there's no blood, like there hasn't been any blood. Or that's just also a sign of early pregnancy symptoms from when your during the implantation phase, you can get lower back pain as an early pregnancy symptom. So I'm assuming that's what it was. Thankfully, the last 2 days, I have no more lower back pain. Thank God, because it was really hurting me. I kept putting like heating pad to my back, and I also kept putting this like gel on my back that felt like icy hot, but it wasn't icy hot. So lower back pain was a huge symptom for me for week 3, and cramping. I had a lot of cramping sensations on and off. That's what also scared me, because that's also a sign of like miscarriage, only if it's accompanied with blood. But then you read all of these other things. I have like all the mommy phone apps, and cramping, or like strong pains when you like get up too quickly or whatever, I would feel that, and that's also a sign in early pregnancy. So I had back pain, I had cramping sensations on and off, and then I had faintiness. Like if I got up too quickly, or if I was like bent down, like tying my daughter's shoes, and then when I would get up, I would get like very like fainty, and I would have to like take a second to like gather myself. That happened quite a few times during week 3, and it's still actually happening. But as far as the cramping and back pain, I haven't had that the last few days since I've entered week 4. So that's all I really have to tell you guys about week 3. The only thing that I've been doing different is trying to reduce my caffeine intake, because you're not supposed to have a lot of caffeine during pregnancy, let alone your first trimester, because obviously your first trimester is the one where you have to be the most cautious, because you know anything can happen. So I've been drinking a lot more water. Like I've got like the biggest bottle from Smart Water, and all I do is I keep refilling it and refilling it. This size is a 33.8 fluid ounce, and I try to drink 4 of these a day. So I try to have like a whole bottle in the morning, late morning, early afternoon, and by the nighttime I have my 4th. So that's my update, guys, on my pregnancy symptoms for week 3. I think since I turn a new week on Tuesdays, I think for every Wednesdays, if you guys want to follow me and keep up with my weekly pregnancy updates and symptoms and everything like that, expect a video every Wednesday. Since I turn a new week every Tuesday, I can kind of have Tuesday to film, and then by Wednesday it should be up, the pregnancy update video. So every Wednesday I expect to have that up for you guys, and I'm sure as the further along I get, the more interesting things are gonna get. I'm very, very anxious for my first appointment, which is on November 30th, where I'll have a consultation with the doctor and my ultrasound. I'll be like, I think 6 weeks and 3 or 4 days when I have that appointment. I'll be almost 7 weeks at that point. I hope the baby will have a heartbeat by then, because I know the baby usually gets a heartbeat around 7 weeks. So I hope, I get nothing but good and positive news for that appointment. For those of you who are new to my channel, I am considered high risk, and I will always be considered high risk for any pregnancies that I have. I will just give you a quick background as to why I'm considered high risk. I'm 27 years old now, but when I was around 21, 22 years old, I was pregnant, and I had a really good pregnancy. And then when I turned about 23 weeks, things went from amazing to just a horror story. I was having cramping and bleeding at 23 weeks, and I was rushed to the hospital, obviously, and I had an abruption, a placenta abruption, which the doctors tried to keep me in the hospital on bed rest and try to obviously prolong my pregnancy as long as possible. But when I turned 25 weeks, my water broke, and I had to have an emergency C-section at 25 weeks, and I had a little baby boy, Nathan. He was here in the NICU on Earth for 9 days, and I got to spend 9 days with him in the NICU, but unfortunately, being so little, he did not survive that. So after I had that pregnancy, I was considered high risk because doctors really couldn't give me an answer as to why I had a spontaneous placenta abruption. I think it happens in every 1 in 100 women. So, you know, that was a devastating experience. But the way that they cut, I had a C-section. The way that they cut my uterus was like a T. Usually in normal full-term pregnancies, if you need a C-section, I believe they just do a line along your uterus. Mine was cut like a T because he was so small. So now for any future pregnancies, and when I like had my daughter and stuff, I had to be monitored, and I always have to have C-sections because if I try to have a baby naturally, the way my uterus is cut, when it contracts, it could actually rupture, which is dangerous for me and the baby. So I always have to have C-sections, which I'm fine with. That's not a big deal. And I can only carry a child for up until 36 or 37 weeks. Doctors do not want me going past 37 weeks because it's also at risk for me to rupture my uterus. So I always have to have a scheduled C-section, and I did have a scheduled C-section for my daughter Gianna for 37 weeks, but she actually came on her own at 36 weeks because my water broke, and thank God and thankfully she was healthy and everything went well with that. The only thing that I did have to do with Gianna is once I turned 16 weeks, I had to get a weekly progesterone shot. Basically, a progesterone shot just helps you prolong your pregnancy. And the doctors told me for any future pregnancies, I will have to always get a progesterone shot again weekly, but once I reach 16 weeks. So I'm sure I'm going to be reviewing all of this again with the doctor when I go to see the doctor on November 30th. So that's my update, guys. Also, if you watched my live pregnancy test video, obviously I had a light line because that was like 7 days prior to my missed period. And then the next day I took another test, and the part that I put on that you guys saw was the test that I did the next day didn't have anything showing. But actually it's because I didn't let the test sit for the 2 minutes that I was supposed to. So I only showed you guys like the immediate part and nothing was coming up, but after 2 minutes a line actually did come up. And so to, you know, because some of you guys were concerned and messaged me and said you should have had a line there and all this stuff. So thank you guys so much for your concern, but I was just in la la land. I should have showed you guys the line after the 2 minutes instead of just showing you the immediate reaction. Does that make sense? I hope this video is not too long, but I kind of, you know, have a lot to tell you guys. I know I have a lot of new mommies or mommies to be, or people who are just trying to conceive following me. Welcome to my channel. Thank you guys so much for following. You know what? I'm very active on Instagram. You should follow me on Instagram if you haven't. My Instagram is down in my description, but my name is at Vanessa Pompa 91. And yeah, so that's pretty much it, guys. So I will see you guys in the next video, which most likely will be up on Friday. I post 2 to 3 times a week, and can you guys comment down below some video ideas? Like, what would you like to see from me? What kind of content? Well, give me some video ideas, because I usually post vlogs all the time. But if you guys want something else other than vlogs and other than pregnancy updates, definitely let me know. I'm open to anything, okay? I'll catch you guys in the next video.